Well, good morning and welcome to Vision, everyone. We're so glad you've chosen to be here with us today. And for those of you joining us online, we're so glad that you are here with us today as well. So, how much joy do you think we can muster up this morning? Let's stand together and celebrate. There is joy in God. There is life in the Spirit. There is peace in the knowledge of God. There's a fountain that flows like a wellspring within us, abounding as love to my soul. All blessing and beauty within, all freedom and power within. Let all wisdom and grace be our lives in this place as we lift up our hearts unto God. There is joy in God. There is life in the Spirit. There is peace in the knowledge of God. There's a fountain that flows like a wellspring within us, abounding as love to my soul. All blessing and beauty within, all freedom and power within. Let all wisdom and grace be our lives in this place as we lift up our hearts unto God. There is joy in God. There is life in the Spirit. There is peace in the knowledge of God. There's a fountain that flows like a wellspring within us, abounding as love to my soul. Abounding as love to my soul. My soul.
Thank you, Celebration Singers. That's lovely. Isn't that wonderful? What a great way to start the celebration. Good morning, Vision. How are you today? And good morning, Vision Community Online. It's so glad to have you tune in and be with us as well. You know, right here in the room, long distance, however we're here together, we know that we come together to realize the oneness of all life, to know that God is one, we are one with that, as that, and also one with each other. So, before I go a minute further, what we know is that we bookend everything that we do with prayer. So, let us pray. So grateful to be together. So glad that we are here in thought, through the technology, in the room, however we, in consciousness come together to know the truth that there is one life. It is God's. It is whole, perfect, and complete. And it is the life that we are living right here and right now. We know that all of the qualities of God flow through us and as us in the world as we become conscious, as we awaken to the truth that God has invested itself in everything. So that all of the abundance, all of the power, all of the love, all of the peace is present everywhere. And that means present within us, and that we are free to demonstrate, to be that on earth, to be the peace the world is calling for, to be the love that the world is calling for, to be the joy. So I give great thanks for this community, for Vision, for each and every one who have said yes to stepping up, to awakening, and to being the Christ consciousness on earth. Giving great thanks for this, I simply let it be, and so it is. It is so good, isn't it? It's so good to just pray in, pray out, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Just make sure you bookend it in prayer. It's always, well, for me, it is always such a powerful thing to do, to know that we are one. So, we have a wonderful celebration for you. I want to tell you about practitioners. They are here to pray with us and for us all the time. They're licensed practitioners. Practitioners, raise your hands. Right? You at home, I know I can see you. Okay. Feels like romper room. I see Bobby. Okay. You guys, you're not even old enough for that. Anyway, I see all of you. And these licensed practitioners are here to serve us and pray with us and for us all the time. That's what they do. There is a prayer request form in your bulletin. If you're online, there's a prayer request form online you can fill out. You can submit to the practitioners at visioncsl.com. They'll get it. They'll pray on it. If you leave your phone number, they will call you. A practitioner will call you at home or leave a prayer on your voicemail if you would like that. You can listen to it several times, right? You can listen to it over and over until you really just allow it to sink in and resonate with the truth of your being. So do that wherever you are. Do that. Get prayer support. If you're here in the room, get prayer support before you leave. We have breakout rooms in here that you can go to one-on-one prayer. In our meet and greet room after the celebration, we have breakout rooms there as well, where you can go for one-on-one prayer with a licensed practitioner. So wherever you are, see, we are here to serve you. Long distance, close up, however and wherever you are, we can serve you in prayer. So please take advantage of that. Let's see, what else I know what I wanted to tell you. You who are in the room, you know you've seen these before, haven't you? They're guest packets. Guest packets. Grab one, give one to a friend. Let them know what we do here, how we know our oneness, and we would love to for them as well, and to give them the spiritual tools to change their lives as your life has changed. Because you know those friends, right? The ones who say, I don't know what you're doing, but you just look wonderful. That's the person you need to give this to. There's also a greeting. We say it every week. We say it to remind ourselves, and we say it for our friends, and we'll say it for our long-distance friends as well. You ready? You with me? Whoever you are, and wherever you are welcome here. You are safe, and you are loved. So just breathe that in and know that Vision is a community of safety and love. And right now I'm going to turn it over to our celebration singers, and they're going to center us, or prepare us anyway, for our meditation.
Today we have a very special guest, and so I'm announcing her now because she's going to play a beautiful piece that she's written underneath our meditation. So our soloist playing the piano here, if you came to the concert last night, you know what you're in for here with her brilliance. And Darlene Koldenhoven, she was the vocal coach for the Sister Act movies and conductor, and she taught the nuns how to sing. And she also played a nun. So, and then those of you who remember Yanni at the Acropolis, if you saw Yanni at the Acropolis, the soprano who walked out with 110% confidence and sang stratospherically, that's been seen by 1.5 billion and more people around the world. She was the soloist for that. And the main reason she's here this weekend, she's doing a workshop after this, but she just released a second CD of her piano music this weekend. It's called the Grand Piano Spa Legacy. And so if you love piano music and you like contemplative, peaceful, loving vibe in your space, it's a fantastic CD to buy. And so I would just love to introduce my friend and in many ways a mentor, because I've never seen anybody as organized as Darlene. So please welcome Darlene Koldenhoven.
Good morning. My name is Marcus Gilliland. I am a licensed practitioner, licensed through the Centers for Spiritual Living to provide spiritual guidance and support. Please take these quotations into your heart as we move into the silence and the piano music, and allow the tones of the bowl to bring you into and out of the 5-minute meditation. From Douglas Pagels: I am aware that I am less than some people prefer me to be, but most people are unaware that I am so much more than what they see. And from Ernest Holmes: the evolution of man brings him arbitrarily to a place where true individuality functions. From that day, further evolution must be through his conscious cooperation with reality. one source, one power, one grace, one infinite and unlimited source of all creation. It is the only thing that has ever been. It is the only thing that it ever will be. It is God. It is universal spirit, the source and supply of all life. The only thing that is always at ease, completely relaxed with itself and all of its expression, everywhere present, knowing all things, creating all things, present everywhere. And because it is present everywhere, I know that it is right here where I am. That my life is only possible because this one source of all creation is right here where I am. Every ounce of my being is made of God's stuff. And that is just simply the reality. I consciously accept this union with the source of all things. And in that consciousness, I know that it's not for me alone, that it is all creation. Every person in this room, every person in this neighborhood, in this city and county and state and nation, the whole planet is a wondrous expression of God. That we are all neighbors. I further know that it doesn't matter what color of the skin, what religion, what we wear, what gender or gender expression, what orientation, it does not matter, for all of it is God expressing and loving and creating and being and revealing over and over and over again itself in limitless expression. And I know that what I know here is instantly known in the one mind. And in that knowing, I affirm and I accept goodness. I accept harmony. Harmony in neighborhoods. Harmony in houses of politics. Harmony in commerce. Harmony in our relationship to this planet that gives of itself over and over and over again, that itself an expression of the one source that always says yes to us and to our needs, to where we are going, knowing that we are never alone, that it is impossible for us to be separated from this source, and that is good. It is the way it is meant to be. And so I affirm the wisdom that exists at the center of humanity. I affirm the goodness that takes us on this journey together. And I am so grateful for this house called Vision, knowing that wisdom is what is expressed here. That feeling is what is felt through the music that is shared, through the words that are shared, through the smiles that are shared, through the volunteers that give of their time and their talent. All of this, an unfolding and absolute perfection of the God presence. So I do give great thanks for this. I give great thanks that there is no effort in me knowing this, that this is just simply the way it unfolds. And in peace and in harmony, I release this into the one mind, knowing that it is done. It is good. All is well. I release and I let go. And so it is. Amen.
Be still, my heart, and hear the voice within to calm my fears, forgive my heart, resolve my restless thoughts and wandering mind, and make all worry and sorrow cease. Reveal only good trust that Spirit guides me now and always as it beckons me. Release. Awake, be true, my soul within me, my sacred space, my evergreen. Remove illusions of control that test my life and help me to be free. Revive every joyful essence and restore my inner peace, and bring me to that sacred space of healing as it calls me to release. Be still and hear the sound. Release.
Making noise. Good morning, Vision. How you doing? We are in October, and October is our month to go further together. Remember, we had that conversation, further, farther, whatever. Well, we're going to go further today. I thought we would discuss further. We're going to discuss that idea that consciousness creates our reality. You've heard that expression, right? It's very popular in New Thought. Consciousness creates our reality. Well, we talked about it last week, how consciousness creates our reality of heaven and hell, right? How we can send each other, or ourselves more likely, to heaven and hell based on our thoughts, right? So it is this idea that consciousness does not create our reality. Consciousness creates our interpretation of reality. Consciousness creates our interpretation of our reality. You know, I don't think that consciousness creates our reality. I don't think any one of us created this worldwide pandemic, right, with a thought, you know? I don't think that our consciousness created the recession in '08. I think that consciousness creates our interpretation of those occurrences and those things that we do. So our interpretation of the situation is what we have to live with. That's the stuff that we have to deal with. And you know, I was thinking about it, how we interpret the things that happen around us. It's always usually based on our past, based on our childhood, based on our relationships, on a lot of things. There is a wealth of information out there regarding eyewitness testimony, you know, the kind of first-person account of crime. And faulty eyewitness testimony accounts for 75% of DNA exonerations in the court. 75%, right? Misleading eyewitness is the cause of 75% of the exonerations that occur. We can be misled to believe or think certain things about what we think we see, right? There was a sociology experiment years ago where all of the students were in the amphitheater. And the professor comes in and he puts his briefcase on the desk and he starts to lecture the students. And then all of a sudden from the side, a thief comes running in, grabs the briefcase and runs out the other side. And everybody is shocked and they can't even do anything before the guy's gone. And the professor said, did anybody see the guy? Can anybody describe him? It's like, I saw that he had a mustache, but does anybody remember what clothes he was wearing or whatever, a hat or something? And so the students all gave their descriptions of the thief. And they all started with the idea that he had a mustache. He didn't have a mustache. The professor planted that memory in everybody. Oh yeah, I know he had a mustache, but what else? And so everybody started their description with, okay, he had a mustache. Well, what color was it? Well, it was brown, it was blue, it was whatever, right? They all recalled the guy that stole the briefcase having a mustache, and he didn't. So we can be misled to file away a memory that's just false. We're also misled to see things or not see things, depending on what's going on. I want to cite another sociology experiment that a class was asked to look at a film, and it was a basketball game. And they were told to count the number of times that the basketball was bounced on the court. So everybody in the class is focused on this man dribbling this basketball. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many times is the guy dribbling the basketball? Nobody saw the man dressed in a full-size gorilla costume walk right across the court. Nobody saw it. Nobody. Because we're trained, we're asked, we are directed to something. So it wasn't even seen. And we tend to think that our memories are like little recording devices. Our memories are video cameras in our heads, constantly recording and filming exactly what's going on around us, but it's not. It's fluid as well. Our mind creates memory templates too. You go into a certain store over and over and over again. You go into a grocery store or a drugstore, and you know exactly what the layout is like. And so sometimes, even if something has changed, you don't even see it. Red tables are brought in where brown tables were, or a display has changed from, potato chips to Frito somethings. You don't see it because you're so used to it being exactly the way it is, it just goes right past and we don't even notice the change. So if we don't notice things like different colored tables or change or something like that, it's because we are going on these old templates. Like you walk into a library, you know exactly, right? Books on the shelf, you know the tables, you know that they're oak or whatever. You don't even notice it anymore because we're so used to seeing things the way they are. And here's another thing. We remember things differently, don't we? Eyewitness testimony, that's why it's so unreliable, because we remember things differently. If you don't believe me, talk to a sibling about a family event. It's like, wait a minute, were you even there? That didn't happen. Oh, yes, it did. Oh, no, it didn't, right? Or what someone was wearing, or who got into a fight with who, or, those were my family reunions. This is the idea that people will take this in and remember it differently. And here's the thing, it turns out that our expectations and our beliefs about what we think is true about life have a tendency to affect those memories. Here's the thing, memories are not recordings, they are creations. They're not recordings, they're creations. And this is what we mean when we say our thoughts create our reality. Those memories, those creations we make as we go through life, that is what our reality is, whether or not it happened. Right? What was it? Mark Twain said something about some of the worst things that I ever imagined. I worried about the worst things that never happened. Right? This is the thing. We create the context with which we recall, and then how we internalize that, and what we make it mean. What we make it mean. Wayne Dyer said, loving people live in a loving world. Hostile people live in a hostile world. It's the same world. Right? It's the same world. We are the ones who make up the rules. We make up the rules, we make up the laws regarding how we operate, how we get through life, what we believe to be true about life. It's like a grown-up game of don't step on the crack. Remember that when you were a little kid, right? Because all this horrible thing is going to happen. Well, we're making it up. That's a narrative. You know, when I spoke to someone last week who knows a woman, she's friends with a woman, and they were talking about getting work done in the house. And my friend said, oh yeah, I know somebody who's really, really good at that. Really good home help, right? Fix-it guy, handyman, whatever. And the woman said, oh, no, don't ever hire someone you know. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? You know? You don't ever hire someone you know, because what if they don't do it right? You can't correct them. And you can't tell them the truth about it. And I'm thinking, wow, that's an interesting narrative to live by, right? That's an interesting narrative. But that's all it is. It's a narrative. It's a belief, it's not a truth. So it may be a belief based on a past experience, right? A negative experience she might have had. It might be a belief based on what her parents told her growing up, or, you know, what she heard who knows? But it's a narrative, it's just a belief, right? It's just a thought. What is it that Louise Hay always used to say? It's just a thought, and thoughts can be changed. Ernest Holmes, change your thinking, change your life. Because these thoughts, repeating themselves over and over and over in our heads, do tend to become the context through which we look out on life. And so it's we come to a place called New Thought. Yay, let's have a new thought, right? What is it? Carolyn Mace said, yeah, our philosophy is called New Thought, but when was the last time you had one? Right? Okay, so our idea in a New Thought philosophy is to question those thoughts. Question those go-to rules you've made up about life. Question the narrative. Question what is coming to us from the past that's holding us back in the present. Right? Because these rules were usually made up to keep us safe, to keep us in control, or keep us thinking we're in control, keep giving us the illusion of control, or to keep us secure, or to create our comfort zone. We make rules for ourselves so that we are in this comfortable place. Comfort zones. What I want you to know is great things don't come from comfort zones. Great things do not come from comfort zones. New experiences do not come from comfort zones. Growth, evolving consciousness, right? Passion, that does not come from comfort zones. When we are on our growing edge, we are not comfortable. Anybody? When you're trying something new, when you are stretching, when you're growing in a certain area, when you are learning something, when you're doing something for the first time, that is not comfortable, right? It might be exciting, it might be thrilling, it might be scary, it might be tingly, but it's not comfortable. Because we're stretching, we're growing, we're trying on a new self. We're trying not to look foolish while we're doing it. We're trying not to have people say, what does he think he's doing now? You know, all of those kinds of questions. We're trying to avoid all of that stuff, but still growing. You know what? Don't worry about what anybody else is thinking about you. That ship has sailed anyway. You know, really, people are going to think about you, people are not going to think about you, people are going to think you're crazy, whatever. You know, it's like, that's okay, it's all gone. But this, I think this is why we create this ambivalence in our lives. Because our soul is craving the experience. Our soul is craving something new. We want to do it all, don't we? Don't you want to do it all before you call it a day in life? I want to do it all. I want to go everywhere. I want to see everything. I want to experience it. Our soul is craving all of it. And yet our ego is like pulling us back, going, no, you don't want to do that. You look like an idiot, or you don't know how to do that. You don't know, all of those kinds of things. We come up with a new idea. We have a new desire. We get all juicy about it. And before we can even plan it out, we come up with reasons why we can't do it. We can identify our excuses, too. There's a way we can identify when we're making excuses. Usually, it starts with don't or can't, right? We have a great, brilliant, wonderful idea. We want to go do something new. We want to experience something new. We want to begin a new career or a new thing, right? I don't have the time. I don't have the education. I don't have the expertise. I don't have the money. I don't have the connections. I don't have the network. Don't is your creation killer, right? Or can't, that's another one. Oh, I can't now. I can't because I can't, right? They're just killers for our growing edge. Now, Ernest Holmes, in Lessons on Spiritual Mind Healing, he said, it is not our business to run the entire universe. Right? Thank God. Okay, he goes on. But we do have a perfect right to govern our own environment. Nothing can hinder our doing this but doubt and a limited concept of our relationship to the universe. That's it. That's the doubt, is the can't and don't, right? That is the doubt sneaking in. The can'ts and the don'ts are our doubts, our fear of change, our fear of growth, our fear of things being different than they were. So what am I going to do? How am I going to know what to do? Right? I won't be in control anymore. Oh my God, could you imagine? And you think you're in control anyway. That's the funny part, right? We always think we are, but we're not, right? There's this huge, gigantic universe that has our back all the time, and we're just ignoring it. But the can'ts and the don'ts keep us from moving into that greater expression of life, that greater expression that Spirit knows we are. Spirit knows we are that. And we hesitate. We feel small, and we feel alone, and we feel we don't have the abilities, but that's where all the good stuff is. Isn't it? Once you got brave enough to jump in, it was like, oh my God, yes, I did it, woohoo. When was the last time you did something for the first time? Just think about it. When was the last time you did something for the first time? Because then you do it and you go, oh my God, look at me, right? You're just like invincible. I did it, yes. Because that's our growing edge, and it's powerful. That is a powerful place to be. That's where the good stuff is. Who is it? There was an old saying about everything we desire is on the other side of our fear. Right? Everything we desire is on the other side of our fear. So we claim we want change in our lives. We claim we want more. We claim we want a new job, but we don't update our resume. We don't send it out to anybody. We don't go online to the job pages, right? Okay. We say we want to meet new people, but then we don't join any clubs, and we don't take any classes, and we don't leave our house in the evening, but we stay home and watch TV and scroll through Facebook, right? You know that, or Instagram or something. So you can see where the ambivalence comes from, this dichotomy of wanting and yet doing, right? The idea of the pressure of staying put because I can control this. Here I am, I can control this. This is my house. This is my cup of coffee. This is my living room, right? And getting out and trying something new and going to the other side of the fear, that's our growing edge. But it's too scary out there. Until enough pressure builds. Right? And then the pressure of staying put becomes greater than the discomfort of trying on the new. That was that old expression by Anais Nin. I know that's really popular. You see it all over the place on posters and self-help books and whatever. She said, the day came when the risk to remain tight in the bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. Right? And that's what happens. And you know, it's a great quote, but it sounds sort of, it sounds like timing, doesn't it? Like eventually it's like chicken and the egg thing. The chicken gets too big and it has to break out of the shell. It has to, it can't do it anymore. So that quote sounds a lot like timing, or it sounds a lot like, well, physics. It sounds a lot like physics, right? It's like it just gets too tight, all of a sudden you explode. You explode into the limelight. Here I am. But I don't know if it's timing, and I don't know if it's physics. I think really more of it is just God. I think at some point, we just finally, fully rely on God. We get to the point where like, I can't do it, clearly. I can't do this on my own. If I could, I would have already done it. I would have already done it. So I'm clearly not in charge. I don't know anything. Did you ever get to that point? I know nothing. That's when we come to the realization that Spirit is in control and has our back, and God is here and all is well. When we finally fully rely on God. Remember the frog? I love the frog. Anyway, the frog, right? Fully rely on God. That's it. That's all we've got. And we take the step into trust. We take that step into trust and we're like, okay, I might look like a fool, but I will do it with Spirit's help, you know? I'm going to take that next step. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to submit that resume. I'm going to make that call. I'm going to join that class or that club, or I'm going to start bird watching with a bunch of people I don't even know. I'm going to do those things that grow me. I'm going to take the leap into trusting Spirit. That's really what it is. Of ourselves, we can do nothing. But we think we are doing it all by ourselves, and that's why we're so hesitant to do anything, right? We're hesitant to take that step, to take that leap, to join that club, to submit that resume, because we think we're doing it all by ourselves. The old parking lot story. Here's what I know. I have found it is very difficult to do anything if I've not turned it over to God. I just really have. I have found that it's like when I release it to Spirit and then I take the steps necessary, there is flow happening there. When I realize and I give myself credit for knowing I don't know it, and I allow Spirit to lead the way, to surround me, to guard me, to guide me, to open the doors, and I take those steps, right? Because you still have to move your feet. You can't just sit at home praying and doing nothing, right? There is still a move your feet part of it. But I realized that it's difficult when I don't turn it over to Spirit. Everything is difficult if I don't turn it over to Spirit. If I'm doing it my own, if I'm just relying on myself, if I'm just gutting it out, I can like do things, but it's so much easier if you just surrender and let Spirit lead the way and let Spirit guide you and allow your intuition, you know, to tell you which door to open, which application to reply to, which person to call up, which club to join, all that kind of stuff. When we keep our goal in mind and stay out of the how, we are directed. Ernest Holmes said, expectancy always speeds progress. Anticipation of better yet to come. I love that. Just our very anticipation helps dissolve the load of unbelief which we carry within us. We must learn to increase our consciousness. Nothing is too good to be true. Oh, don't you love that? Now there's an affirmation to take home. If you got nothing else out of this today, go home thinking, nothing is too good to be true. Nothing is too good to be true. God's perfection is already an ever-present reality. But as far as we are concerned, it waits to be perceived. And only so much good can come to us as we mentally accept. So Spirit waits on our welcome. Spirit waits on our welcome. For us to say, hey, come on in, do this, would you? Do this. Fully relying on God. fully relying on Spirit to accompany us through life. It's not one of this, okay, me, and then God's over there someplace doing something, helping some team win, because that's what he does all the time. Helping, whatever. It's not about that. It's about the Spirit within. There's only Spirit. There's only energy. We talk about this all the time. There's only energy. And that energy we know is conscious. It is that universal intelligence. It flows through me. It flows through everything. Flows through everything. So fully relying on that, because it is accompanying us. It is us. There is no separation. There's not me and God. There's not you and God, right? No big old man, long white beard, sitting on a cloud somewhere, indiscriminately smiting some people and blessing others. There's just energy, and it's infused itself in everything as everything. So we invite this energy to guide us, to speak to us, to reveal the next steps in our goal. We don't abandon the goal. I'm not saying that we surrender in the white flag kind of way. We don't abandon our goals and go, well, I'll just sit here until God tells me what to do. It's about keeping the goals. It's about keeping the desires. It's about keeping those dreams alive and doing whatever it takes, moving forward, step after step, keeping the focus on the goal and the dream, taking the steps in the direction that Spirit is guiding us to take, right? Following our intuition, mostly letting go of the how. We have to let go of the how, because we're really good at that. We all want to work for God, but only as advisors. No. We have to let go of the how. Keep the goal in mind. You know what you want to do. You know what your heart is calling you to do. You know what that next dream is, right? That you want to make manifest, that you want to create, that you want to give to the world. You know what's on your heart. Keep that alive by doing what you are being told to do step by step by step. Cast a wide net, right? That's really the story. Cast a wide net, but allow Spirit to tell you in what direction to throw it. Right? That's the story of Jesus, right? When they were all fishing on one side and they weren't catching anything, and Jesus went, the other side. Right? And they threw the nets on the other side, and they brought up fish after fish after fish, allowing Spirit to tell us what direction to cast the net. Ernest Holmes said, truth knows no opposites. When we take away the belief in evil, it flees with the dissolution of the belief. We can continually be reminding ourselves of the power of our word and of our ability to consciously use it for the good desired. We must know that the truth produces freedom, because truth is freedom. It is that quiet expectancy and in calm confidence that our work should be done. The results rest in the eternal law of mind. We are guaranteed. It's like we wrote at the end of the book already. We are guaranteed, right, to be those channels for Spirit, to be that. We already are that. To allow it to run our lives and to fulfill us and to take those next steps in trust, to fully rely on God. That's getting to the other side of our fears. Thank you.
Well, beautiful message, Reverend Patti. Beautiful. So I've been asked to just say a few words about my workshop I'm going to give today. And I'll say that this is your chance to take action on the very thing Reverend Patti was talking about earlier, to get out of our comfort zone. And in a very fun and non-judgmental atmosphere, come and join me in our workshop today. We're going to learn a lot about sound and vibration and how sound can heal and all the various ways and forms and You will be able to experience, I have a 2-foot quartz crystal tuning fork that you can experience, and we're going to do some other many interesting activities. We might move our voice around a little bit. Doesn't matter if you're sing or not sing. It has nothing to do with it. We're talking about creating a vibration for healing. So I hope to see many of you there this afternoon. We're going to have a good time. It's just 2 hours, 12 to 2. So thank you to everyone who came to the concert last night. All the important people showed up, and it was a very mighty crowd. It sounded like hundreds of people were there applauding, and it made me feel really good because it was my first time performing since 2019, and my first time performing a full concert of just my original solo piano music. Normally, people know me as a singer, but in this case, I gave my voice to the piano, so thank you for coming. I have some leftover programs, which you're all welcome to take a program just to have a souvenir or whatever, and learn more about my music and what I do, and some cards and things back there. And of course, we're promoting the new album, only $5, for this weekend. So we hope you get in there and help with that. And moving on, I'm going to play this next piece. It's called Love Eternal. And I'm going to sing it for you. So it exists as a piano piece on the new album, and it also exists as a vocal piece on one of my previous albums called Color Me Home, which is a great album and comes with a coloring book. This song is about love, God being love, and the power of love, and how when we pass on or pass with each other, we surrender to love and the idea of love. Whether it be people we're connected to from our past, people we're connected to in the present, and people we're connected to that come after us, that we are all joined by this thread of love that God brings into our lives. So I hope you will receive a blessing from this piece, Eternal Love Song. An open door, a golden shore. The view from here is long and clear. I'll be with you when time is full, forever in your love. 'Cause you and I will always be connected by eternity, as angels fly from earth to sky, far into the heavens. I surrender to love. A shooting star without a moon races by, full brilliance shown, as bright a light as this could be. There's none compared to you. 'Cause you and I will always be connected by eternity, between earth and sky, as angels fly far into the heavens. I surrender to love. sound of love's surrender. A heavenly choir sings out its joyful song, and soon we both shall sing our song together, resounding with the resonance of pure love. Between earth and sky, as angels fly, I surrender to love eternal.
Thank you, Darlene. That was just lovely. Oh my gosh. Wasn't that beautiful? Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Okay, now it is time for conscious circulation. This is our opportunity to give from what we have been given. This is always this idea of staying in the flow of spirit, for receiving and giving and remaining, right, in that flow of God's truth and the truth of abundance and the truth of peace and joy. And this is the way it is with all of the qualities. Abundance is just one of them. Our prosperity, the money comes to us, we pass it on to our good. But the same thing is true of joy, of love, of peace. We accept gratefully and we give graciously and we remain in the flow always. So that's what this is about. If you are giving today, thank you so much. If you give online, if you give through the bank, through, all those online things, I don't even remember the names of all of them, but you know what I mean. Just bring that into your mind. If you're not here writing a check right now, but you give automatically online, I want you to bring that to mind too. I don't want you to forget you do this, because it's a very powerful practice, being in this river of God's abundance, giving and receiving. It's two sides of the same coin, so I want you to remember it. And so if you do give automatically, if you're on automatic tithing or if you're giving online, bring that into your mind. If you are writing a check, hold that in your hand. Whatever way in which you give, just bring it consciously to the forefront of your mind as we go within for prayer, knowing that God is abundance and we are that. It flows through us and as us in the world. We stand in the river of God's abundance, open-handed and open-hearted. We say yes and more please, and we know that God's good flows to us in unlimited amounts. That spirit is limitless. We cannot outgive God. We cannot outgive God. So we know that as we stand in that river and we accept gratefully and we give graciously, we remain in that flow, in that law of giving and receiving, cause and effect. We know that eternal return is already us. It is the description of who and what we are as outpicturings of spirit. So I give great thanks for this good. I know it is all God. It is all good. And so it is.
Consciousness held high. I'm grateful, so thankful. I stand complete in infinite grace, believing, receiving. I celebrate one life in this place. I'm grateful. circulation. I step into the flow. My good and boundless demonstration. Through faith I let it grow. I'm grateful, so thankful. I stand complete in infinite grace, believing, receiving. I celebrate one life in His place. I'm grateful, so thankful. I stand complete, abundant and free, unlimited, unshakable, the all-sufficient source within me. I'm grateful, so thankful. I'm grateful, so thankful. I'm grateful.
That's just amazing. I love that song. Grateful and thankful. Boy, you can't go wrong. Just go through your day grateful and thankful. And speaking of that, this is time for the Miracle Minute. So I wanted to share this miracle comes to us. It's really interesting the way things unfold. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about this one. It was from Barbara. And she said several weeks ago her apartment building was being fumigated and she had to go away to get out, right? So she planned a trip with her sisters and packed, got everything ready, turned the car on, and it made the most horrendous noise. And she said someone had stolen her catalytic converter. Is that a thing now? This is like the second time I've heard this. Someone stole her catalytic converter. God, I don't know. Anyway, people who think that, it's like they're suffering from lack. Anyway, so she right away called her car guy, and it was like $3,000 or something. Anyway, it became a thing. And she was on the phone with the insurance company, and she was on the phone with the car people, and they were checking into what was covered and what wasn't covered. And because we're California, catalytic converters. Anyway, all of that stuff. When all of this was happening, she said she was having a little challenge letting it go. You know how it is when you're right in the middle of something? It's like, I'm right in the middle of it. I can't see truth. So she called, and she got prayer treatment. Yes! That's what we do, right? When we cannot find the center for ourselves. What is it they say? It's like when you need prayer, you're like inside the box, and the instructions on how to get out of the box are printed outside the box. So you call the practitioner, and they read off the instructions to you on how to get out of the box. That's what practitioners do. Anyway, so she called for prayer treatment. She allowed herself a short little pity party, and we all get to do that, right? And then she moved on. Things did work out magically, exactly the way she knew. Source provided exactly what she needed. She spent a few nights with her sisters in a small apartment just right here in town. Her hotel reservations got canceled without any problem, without any penalty. She decided the money in the savings account was going to be used to do whatever she needed. She got to pay the bill. It came out to be $750 less than they had quoted her. When do you get, that, right? Car bills less. Yay, I love that. And so she wanted to really tell us about her thoughts and her words. She realized she kept repeating words like, I don't have a car. I don't have a car. What am I going to do? I don't have a car. That was her affirmation. And so when she changed it to, I have a car, everything's good, I have a car, everything's good, just the change of the sentence made her feel better, right? The situation hadn't changed at all, but she changed her mind. And then she started preparing for the best and stopped preparing for the worst. And then she focused more on what she wanted rather than what she didn't want. And she began to hold that truth in her mind. And so she said at the end, we do need to remind each other of who and what we are, and that there is a greater power than us, and that we can use it, and it knows what to do. I love that. She said, I went on a journey, and I never left home. So thank you, Barbara. I love that. Just thank you so much for that. And I have another Miracle Minute, and I'm going to wait till next week because she's not here, and I just want to, I'm just going to wait for next week because it's fabulous. Anyway, now it is time for the last word by Johnny Kirko.
It's great to have Mark with us. Hello, everybody. How are we? So we have our vision meet and greet right after our celebration online. Join us for that. You guys, there's a link on the website for it, as well as on Facebook if you guys want to join us. We have practitioners available for one-on-one prayer in there. It's really cool. Darlene has mentioned, first of all, how about Darlene Koldenhoven? What an amazing concert last night. That piano, she's playing, oh my God, what talent. I was so impressed. I'm like, she plays piano and she sings and everything. I'm like, where the hell did I get? How come I didn't get some of that? No, but I love you. So anyway, good stuff. Darlene's doing her workshop. Starts at 12 o'clock. If you guys are here in the room, want to join us, 12 o'clock, join us. If you're at home and you're in San Diego, come on by. 12 o'clock. You got 45 minutes to get your butt over here and spend some time with Darlene and join us in the workshop. Going to be a good time. We appreciate all the work you've done with us, Darlene. Thank you. Coffee Connection continues Monday through Friday, 8:30 in the morning with Reverend Lori Sheets. There's links available on the website for that. Folky Monkey is this week on Thursday night. We have Dave Howard who's going to be with us, and the theme is Day of the Dead. So I don't know all the music, but it's going to be some kind of spooky stuff, huh? Some stuff. So that's going to be Thursday night, 7 o'clock. Join us right here in the room or online. We have a class coming up with Reverend Gene Phillips. It's Opening Your Heart, a Guide to Compassionate Living. It's in a couple of Saturdays. We'll tell you more about that as we go along. It'll be on the website to sign up for that. So what's that? Tuesdays. Thank you, Lita. We were just checking to make sure you're following along, Lita. Thank you. It's Tuesday nights. Reverend Patti Paris will be back next week. Her talk title is, Where Do You Want to Be? And we have, as our guest singer, Mr. Marcus Gilliland, who did our prayer today. The guy can pray, he can sing. Again, all this talent around here. You guys are amazing. He's going to sing for us with the band, so can't wait to see him. Also, it's Halloween, so we want you guys to dress up. It is Halloween, so wear your costumes. Wear your best costumes next week. It's going to be fun, so I want you guys to dress up. We're going to have a great time. And then there's also something else going on, which is the Stinking Black Tight Fundraiser. Anyway, I love you guys, but you're all sick, and you've almost raised all the money we were going to do. So here's what happened. We had somebody's given $5,000 to see a few of us, well, as me, in tights. And I don't know why, but they did. And they said, we will match up to $5,000. Well, we're very short. We're very close to reaching our goal of the $10,000 mark. So thank you guys for doing this. Yes, you guys rock. So what I threw out there was that if anybody wanted to give like $1,000, they could name somebody. Well, we got 2 other people who have been named. You want to know one of the names? Larry Paris will be up here in tights. We'll be in tights up here. The third one's a mystery, and I'm not telling you yet, but you're going to love the hell out of that one, too. So anyway, if you guys want to keep on giving to that, we appreciate that. Thank you very much. You can go to the website and click on the link for donations and donate to our matching fundraiser. Thanks, guys.
Joy is a quality of God, and if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. That's all there is to it. Okay, we're going to stand up, speaking about doing it right. We're going to stand up and we're going to say our affirmations. I know they were around here someplace. Here we go. October 24th. Do I have them? Are they? Oh, yes. Okay. We're going to say them together. We're just going to ground in the energy, just allowing that energy to flow through us. We know these are statements of truth about us, and we're going to declare them. You're with me? You ready? Okay. The high frequency of divine love resounds through all my relationships. I am aligned with my purpose and truth. I go beyond my limiting beliefs and I accept myself totally. What are we doing? Oh, 3. Okay, we're good. Okay, we're going to go for 3. I go beyond my limiting beliefs and I accept myself totally. Oh, I love it. Oh, it just resonates so well. Let us go within right here, right now, and know that there is one life. It is God's. All of the qualities that are God's flow through all of its creations, and we are that. So we know that what flows into our life, into our being, into the conditions surrounding us, are limitless amounts of joy, of love, of abundance, of power. We stand in that power and we declare our peace, our wisdom, our unity with all life everywhere. We know and accept that there is one life. It is God. It is whole, perfect, and complete. It is our life right here and right now. And so it is.
Amen.